Now, more young people are faced with hard battles as they may be vulnerable to making the wrong decisions. Nozi Kubeka, the author of Teenager Be Wise, has recently published a book in the hopes to motivate teenagers to think before they act and make the right choices in life. This motivational book was published with the average teenager in mind, to motivate them to change and make changes that will lead them to success. Well, in studio today, we are joined by the author of Teenager Be Wise, Nozi Kubeka. Good to have you, Nozi. Thank you very much for being our guest.
Thank you for having me.
All right, why write a book like this?
I wrote this book as a message to young people, to empower them, to encourage them, to support them. I battled to have children. Yeah. And when I eventually did, I said, I'm going to be the best mother that I can be. Yes. I'll give the best. I won't give them material things. I'll give them values. Yeah. And I wrote this book initially for my children. I've got 2 teenagers. To say, you know, gadgets, iPad, brands are not as important as what you have inside. And obviously, every child is my child. And I wanted this message to go to every child in our country, to say, your values will make you who you are. Yeah. And the choices that you make are informed by the values that you have. And there are so many problems that young people have got. Why? Because they're making the wrong choices. And why are they making the wrong choices? Because they don't know who they are. And this message is just to empower them and encourage them that they can be a success. Our country needs them to be a success.
Yeah, indeed. Yes. So, writing this book, is it basically through your learning experiences with your children, what you've been through? Firstly, how old are your children?
17, my firstborn, and 15. Okay. And the little one is 11. So
11. So you've got 3 children.
Yeah.
So you're in the middle of all of this right now.
Yes.
So you really do speak from experience.
I do. And I'm enjoying it, though. You know, I know people say, oh, teenagers, problems. We are having fun with my kids. Yeah. And they teach me as much as I teach them. And that's why this book, I felt that I can write this book from experience, yes.
Yeah. I mean, you know, living in South Africa, and we look at some of the challenges that are facing our youth these days, and it really is difficult. Yeah. It seems that some of our children, you know, face more challenges than other children or teenagers in the rest of the world when it comes to education. I mean, we've got houses that are run by young teenagers or young children. Yeah. There's excessive drugs available on our streets. There's alcohol, reckless behavior, unemployment. I mean, there is just so many things that we have to worry about. Do you address them? Do you look at these type of things as well, or how do you go about it?
Yes. The book, the message addresses exactly those things. You know, I feel that if they're empowered to know that they can say no, you don't have to experiment with things that your friends are giving you. You know, you don't have to worry that you're going to lose your friends. I say, choose your friends carefully, and your values will make you choose the right friends. You know, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. So much is trying to impress the peers. No, you don't have to impress the peers. You do the right thing. All the time. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying the value of education, it's important. They must value it, you know, and they must use their time wisely, and they must take care of their health. They must choose the right friends. They must, you know, all these things will make you a person, you know. And I say to them, you don't have to try and impress anybody. You need to impress yourself. Choose things that will not destroy your life, but will build your life. Yeah. And it's that simple. We make it complicated, but it's that simple, really. We need to just enforce that, reinforce that. I've seen it with my kids. I'm not saying I'm the best parent, but you know what? I'm doing something right here. And I think that I love every child. Every child is my child. I say Ubuntu means every child is my child too. And that's why I go to schools. I go where there's young people, I'm there. You know, and you know, they need us to talk to them, and they appreciate that. Yeah. And parents are telling me it's changing their lives. It's transforming their lives.
I think what you're touching on is such an important issue, because I know that I know it is up to teenagers to be wise, but I think you as a parent is what puts that into any teenager, and I fear that too many of the youth here in South Africa are missing that parenting skill, that role model in their life, and then they start admiring the wrong people and putting them as their pin-up poster boy or girl when your parent is not around. And what I'm getting from you is that you have to be an active parent, no matter where your child is or what they're doing.
24/7. Yeah. Parenthood is, if when you chose to be a parent, you don't let go. 24/7, you need to be there with your child. You know, you need to speak to your children, otherwise other people will speak to your children.
Absolutely.
So don't leave your children. Know where they are all the time. Talk to them about on a daily basis, you need to be communicating with your children. And, you know, this book, I'm saying, even parents must read this book. They must read it because it gives them a structure. You know, if you look at the outside, those are the topics that are inside the book. And it gives the parent at least a structure to start with, to sit down and talk to this young person.
So you focus on choices, decisions, education. It's there. Time, health, Ubuntu, integrity, and relationships. So is this book written for the teenager?
You know, when I wrote this book, I wrote it in such a way that it's like I'm sitting with one person.
Yeah.
I'm sitting with you now, and I'm talking to one person. I'm saying, you are precious. You are special. The world is your oyster, and you will be a success. Talk to me. You know, I talk on one. That's why I want every teenager to have this book, and they love it. And to make it like a reference when things are hard at school, when you're faced with difficult choices, I say, go to some of these chapters, read them. They will just encourage you and empower you. Then you can go out again and face the world and face your peers.
Yeah.
Fearless.
Because sometimes I think what's also important is that as much as you want to turn to your parents, sometimes you feel a little bit embarrassed or you're a little bit scared to speak to them about something that may be affecting you. And you think, oh no, I can't let my parents know that I'm going through this. You know, that's how some children think. Whereas for me, I want my kids to speak to me about everything, but they're not going to speak to me about everything. And perhaps something as small and as simple as this can just lead them back onto the right path.
Definitely, so to kickstart them. And then maybe mom and teenager should read it. Dad and teenager as well should read it together and discuss it, and that will open a good relationship between them.
Well, I love your experts at the back of the book. I enjoyed this book. It will make a good gift for my friends and cousins too. That's from Kiara. She's 13 years old. Matthew 16 says, this book has inspired me to aim to become a greater success in my life. Yeah, it is up to me. So there you go, Matthew 16. Selwyn 15, this is inspiration that crosses generations. And then Diane, who's a parent, says, this book is brilliant. I wish I had read it as a teenager. Well done to you for taking the time. Where can we buy this?
I've got my own bookshop, and I've got my number in Honeydew.
In Honeydew?
Yes, I've got the numbers, and it's a Be Wise bookshop. It's called the Be Wise Bookshop.
Be Wise Bookshop.
Yes. But they must phone me, and then I'll guide them and direct them.
Okay, what's your number quickly?
072 423 0267.
Okay. We'll write that down, and you can get hold of us as well if you didn't catch that. And get the book. Thank you for joining us, and congratulations on getting it. Nozi Kubeka, her own book, Be Wise, named after her own bookstore as well. All right, that's it. I got to say goodbye to you. We got to run here on Morning Live. Thank you for watching.